You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. We're going to be joined on the phone. We're going to be talking all about how families are regularly spending less than 7 hours together per week. Firstly, the both of you, thank you very much for joining us. I was just hoping you could introduce yourself to our listeners and tell us a little bit about yourselves as well.
I'm Healey. I'm a broadcaster. I make a lot of programmes for the BBC. I do podcasts. I've written a book. I'm a parent of 2 and a general busybody.
Well, I don't think I can beat that. My name's Richard Woolfson. I'm a child psychologist and a father of 2 children now growing up and a grandfather of 5 children.
I think you do beat me on several levels.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I was hoping you could start off by telling us a bit more about this research.
The research, what we did, we looked at family life and the amount of time that families spend together on quality time. Now, by that I mean actual time where you're sharing ideas, communicating, connecting with one another at all levels. I don't just mean you sat together in the same physical space. So the Bassett's Family Survey interviewed over 2,000 families, and we looked at their lifestyle, and what we found was that on average, families spend around 7 hours a week together on what they would regard as quality time. Of course, that varied, and in fact, 10% of the families spent no time at all together. So what we see from that is that families are struggling with time. We kind of tend to be a cash-rich, time-poor society now. Parents are working all hours of the day, and often timetables clash. So one partner might be working in the morning, another one in the evening, and so on. And then kids themselves have hectic schedules. Even a preschooler, they'll have play dates, they'll be going to drama classes, dance classes, sports classes, goodness knows what. There's so much going on. And when you put all that in the melting pot, and you add in the fact that the smartphones are pinging every 10 seconds, the internet's there permanently 24/7, the tablets are luring the kids all the time. You put all that in the melting pot, you begin to say, well, it's no wonder families don't have time for that. And that's the challenge. And I think that the last factor that is quite important is really almost the demise of the family meal. 10 years ago or 20 years ago, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, come tea time, the parents and kids sat down together and they ate together. And of course, these meals were often, tempers were lost and people were grumpy and it's not fair and so on. But in the end, these were huge opportunities for families to share ideas and feelings and solve problems. And family meals are very infrequent now. And many modern flats and houses, as I've seen, they literally don't have enough space for a dining table for families all to sit round together. So it's a real challenge for parents and kids nowadays, but it's a solvable problem.
I was going to say, it almost seems perhaps the way we live almost prevents you from spending quality time, whether that is the design of a house to technology being there on hand. You just seem to have less time rather than more.
Yes, but I'm always struck by the saying. I know it's a bit sanctimonious, but whenever I think about it, Einstein had the same amount of time as we had. So you use the time well. Don't let the time dominate you. You dominate time and you drive it. And we're not talking of setting us. You don't need to set aside an entire day and think to yourself, gosh, if I don't take my kids to the most expensive theme park in the world this Saturday, I'm failing as a parent. It's not about that. Talking to your child while you're driving in the car to the supermarket, just asking them questions. What's good? What happened today? How do you feel about this? What are you worried about that? It's these few minutes. That's all it can need to take, where you are just communicating together, sharing ideas, and most importantly, making the child the center of attention. Your kid wants to know that he is loved, he feels safe and valued by you. And that's what quality time is about. Now, of course, the activities can help. And I know, we're 4 weeks into the school holidays, and most parents now will be tearing their hair out and probably run out of ideas what to do and begging the school start to come early. So it's hard to find ideas. As a result of that, as part of Bassett's work in this area, we've developed an activity pack for parents, and that's something that is can be helpful, and it's got lots of good ideas, and that's available for parents. They can get that from the website colourquestkit.co.uk. But whatever you do with your kids, chatting with them, colouring in, playing with them, taking them in activity, just make an effort to find that time. It's not that difficult, and you'll feel the benefits straight away.
Well, I suppose that is some of the problems. It's finding that time and putting that effort together. Are there any other sort of ideas you have that you can do to spend more quality time together?
Well, I think part of it, as we talked about, is just making the decision to, and I think not making it into a big song and dance. And I'm not crafty mum. I know some mums love, paper mache, let's make 1,000 cakes. And oh, no, stop it. Boring. Oh, but I mean, I can do half an hour. And actually, I think it's better to do a little bit every day than one great big day where you spend thousands of pounds at a theme park and you give all of yourself. Actually, I think it's better to maybe do half an hour of play with your kids. I mean, I know my son came up to me yesterday and wanted me to play some card game with him. I was on the sofa and I was just Instagramming. I wasn't even doing anything useful. It wasn't like I was at work. I was literally just in the internet hole. And I was like, no, darling, Mummy's very tired. And I hadn't really played with him all day. It wasn't like we'd done loads of play. But I just couldn't be bothered. That was it. And I was my brain had turned into that big mush that it goes into when you go into kind of an internet hole. And actually, I put him to bed and I thought, oh, that's a shame because you are so little of me and I could have done it so easily and we would have had a really nice time. It would have been half an hour. I'd have felt better about myself. You'd have felt happier. And it just made me think, you know what, don't beat yourself up. That's so unhelpful. Don't feel any guilt. But I think, remember, clock that, put that in the bank and think, right, tomorrow I'm just going to do half an hour. I'll do half an hour of drawing with my daughter and I'll do half an hour of card game with my son. It doesn't even need to be half an hour. I mean, even 10 minutes having a chit-chat when you put them to bed. Read a story, few questions. And it teaches them that they are loved and they are known and they're cared for and that they are really important to you. And you can live in a house with somebody, you know, all your life and not really feel intimate with them. But I think they just want to know that you care about them.
So can you actually learn from your kids, do you think?
Yes, but one of the things that the purple paper that was done by Bassett presented was that parents learn a lot from their children. So one of the top ones was how to laugh every day. I mean, my kids are constantly falling about laughing. I mean, there are a lot of poo jokes, but you can't beat that, can you? But they're always laughing about absolute nonsense. And if I lift my head up from my phone for 5 minutes, they have me in stitches as well. And also relaxing a little bit because I do cooking with my son. That's one of his favourite activities. And I'm very tidy. And, you know, you've got flour everywhere and you've got eggs in the wrong bowl. And I have to remind myself, right, just chill, babe. It doesn't matter. It can all be wiped up right now. The most important thing is that you're both having a proper giggle. One of the other things that parents were found to learn from their children is to take joy in the small things. And that is something I struggle with. Again, I'm so sucked up in emails and online shenanigans that I forget just to turn my phone off. It's very difficult to turn your phone off. It's incredibly difficult. And in a way, the harder I know it to be, the more discipline I know I have to put into action to do that. Actually, just turning it off, and if we go to the park, just having a moment where I'm actually with them, so much more rewarding and fulfilling than actually just really like wishing your day away. So I think parents learn a lot from their kids.
Was there anything else you'd like to cover or get over to our listeners that we've not had a chance to cover yet?
This is a call out to all of the parents who are absolutely exhausted. Last 2 weeks of summer holidays, you are all legends. You should all get a certificate of brilliance. I mean, I know when I wake up in the morning, my kids look at me and they're like, what are we doing today? And I think, I don't know, I've run out of ideas and enthusiasm. So Bassett's have created a really great Colour Quest activity pack that Richard mentioned. And it's a box with all sorts of fun activities and ideas. And I know as a parent that if anyone's got suggestions for what to do with their kids over the summer holidays, they are my new best friend. So it can be downloaded at colourquestkit.co.uk. It will just help you get through the day, turn your phone off, do a couple of activities with the kids, give yourself a pat on the back and a nice big glass of Chardonnay.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much, both of you, for taking the time out to talk to us here at BRFM Bridge Radio.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.